from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, which is named as Creation, Sarga, and chapter 1, question by the sages. And text number 1. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloker Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvandamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. So on this particular day in Sridham Mayapur, I feel very fortunate sitting at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace. And this specific place where I am sitting is just behind the TOP, Temple of Vedic Planetarium Temple, Adbhuta Mandir, which was predicted personally by Sri Nityananda Prabhu to Jiva Goswami while he was touring Jiva Goswami around Navadvip. That time he showed in this direction and he shared and he told us in this particular place of the Antardvip, there will be a very beautiful Adbhut Mandir and there will be many varieties of flags holding people from different countries with breed and color. They come and they will chant the holy names of the Lord in union, in unison. So real unity and diversity actually you can experience in this particular place of Temple of Vedic Planetarium. And this prediction has made possible to come in reality by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. If it not for Srila Prabhupada, such a magnificent temple and the opportunity for people all over the world to come and unite here, it remains only a dream. The dream can made into reality only when there is a consistent and faithful endeavor by the pure devotees. That dream can be made into reality. It's not about hard work. It's about commitment. Srila Prabhupada was committed to fulfill the desire of his spiritual master, and taking the desire of the guru seriously means you're taking the desire of the entire parampara seriously. And in that way, when the parampara acharyas and the Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, everyone sees this person is taking very seriously, they will accomplish things through him. Even in ordinary life, you see, one who is busy now, you give him only the job, he will do it. Because the busy person knows how to take out time and do the other rest of the works also. One who is not busy, is free and he doesn't have any specific goal in life. You give him something, then you have to repeatedly follow him up. Karo ye karo, wo karo. Bar follow up. But however, Srila Prabhupada, through his devotional faith in the process of Krishna consciousness and spiritual master, he has been given a very prerogative role. Therefore, he is called as he is not an ordinary guru, not even an ordinary acharya, for that sake. So, we have got the opportunity where Srila Prabhupada kept his nights small. Uh, he actually everything he kept big. Prabhupada is to think big. Before establishing international headquarters here in Sridham Mayapur, he wanted to have the Queen Victoria Memorial in the Calcutta. And he wanted to make the headquarters there, keeping that. And certainly Mahaprabhu has a different plan. And therefore you see that Sridham Mayapur is becoming very glorious. Uh, People all over the world are visiting this place. If you want to really experience the unity in diversity, which Srila Prabhupada created, or you want to experience Srila Prabhupada's word, that I have built, he built a temple in which whole world can come and live. That you can experience when you, make a plan to visit Sridham Mayapur, especially during this time. In this month of March, before Holi, you make a point of visiting at least for a 5 days or 7 days, like that. You make a tour here, and remain here and experience. You will actually see that happening, and getting sung of many Vaishnavas, and by staying in association of those who are faithful, your faith also increases. This is very crucial. So we will be discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam first 3 verses. Okay. These 3 verses, Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter, 1, 2, and 3. These 3 verses, you can open the link which is shared with all of you by Rajiv Prabhu. In that link, you can see Veda base, first canto, first chapter, question by the sages to Sutta Goswami, and first 3 verses. These 3 verses are called as Prologue to Srimad Bhagavatam. They give the entire a brief introduction, a forward to Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is personally given by Sukadev Goswami. So as you go through verses and verses, now we'll realize how the conversation is going on. But at this moment, I would like to share a very important point in the conversations which happen in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is a conversation between two personalities, about a conversation between two personalities, and about a conversation between two personalities. It's like a conversation within a conversation within a conversation. So the first conversation which happened originally was between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. Last time we were discussing about from the how Srimad Bhagavatam should be relished by the speaker and the receiver. So speaker and the receiver. So we see Sukadeva Goswami is the son of Vyasadeva. Okay, Vyasadeva is the literary incarnation of Krishna, who has come to compile the Vedas in the book form. So his son was Sukadeva Goswami. And Sukadeva Goswami heard the glories of entire Krishna from his father. And later on, he became so absorbed in relishing the glories of Lord that even though his age was quite early, it was like 16 or 17-year-old, he is considered one of the Paramahamsa. So one time Sukadeva Goswami went into the palace of a king, and the king wanted to test him. So he made the Sukadeva Goswami open his tongue, and then on the tongue he kept a sugar ball. Okay. As he kept the sugar ball, nobody could even see even a small drop of saliva forming on the tongue. Just imagine, you can experiment yourself at your home, wherever you are. You take a sugar, even one small crystal of a sugar, and keep on your tongue. Immediately your tongue will excrete saliva, because the desire to enjoy this material world is so deep in our life. So any object, sense object, comes in contact with the senses, it immediately generates the desire. Immediately generates the desire. So here we see that how Sukadeva Goswami was not disturbed by that, even the sugar ball which is kept on his tongue. We hear another story how Sukadeva Goswami was walking ahead he is going into the forest in search of the absolute truth, Krishna. and remembering Krishna's glories and pastimes. While moving, he suddenly came in front of a lake. He was going through. In that lake is especially meant for some young girls bathing place, girls bathing place. So some girls were taking bath there. And Sukadeva Goswami, a 16-year-old young boy, walking naked, he just came out of the womb of his mother. He remained in the womb for 16 years. Can you imagine? No, after 9 months, the baby wants to come out to explore the world. Is it not? But Sukadeva Goswami did not want to explore the world because he knew very much well in the womb only that this world is a very dangerous place. The moment I come, the consciousness will get contaminated. So he remained in the womb of his mother, and mother bore him. His mother bore him for 16 years in the womb, and then Sukadeva Vyasdeva requested him to come out, and Krishna has to personally come and tell him, "Okay, come out now. You don't worry, I am there. I will ensure your protection." So Sukadeva goes, as soon as he came out, he started going toward the forest. And while going to the forest, he saw this woman bathing. And seeing them, he was not agitated because he doesn't understand what is the difference between male and female. He doesn't understand biologically anything at that particular moment. He was just like a small child who has just came out of the womb. Uh, Even the woman had the ability to see what is in the eyes of a man. That time, women had that ability. So that woman saw him, and they were also not disturbed by him. So they have continued taking bath, and he went ahead searching for. So that was the control which Sukadeva Goswami had over his senses. But his main joy is in relishing and speaking about the glories of Krishna, his pastimes. And he's looking for an opportunity to hear and relish and share and relish. And that is the time we see the another personality who comes there is Parikshit Maharaj, who was waiting on the banks of Ganges. You know, is not just waiting without any understanding about the upcoming death. It was predicted within 7 days he will be cursed to death, Parikshit Maharaj. But he was not fearful, nor he was thinking how to come out of this particular situation. He was not fighting for it. Rather, he wanted to prepare his consciousness to upgrade himself. Uh, the whole life we think of upgrading ourselves, but the best upgradation happens at the time of death, and that depends on what is the consciousness you have. The more your consciousness is spiritually enlivened, such upgradation happens to you at the time of death. So Parikshit Maharaj is waiting on the banks of Ganges in the association of many sages there, looking for an opportunity to upgrade his consciousness, to enliven his consciousness to high levels of spirituality. And for that reason, he was waiting there. And all the sages, when they saw Parikshit Maharaj, such a glorious king, the entire world is waiting there alone, given up his duty. He handed over the entire responsibility to his son, Janmejaya, and sitting there. So that time, all of them suggested, who can actually help him? Uh, who can actually, no, because he wants to elevate a consciousness within 7 days to high level. That is possible only by Sukadeva Goswami. So all went and invited Sukadeva Goswami to come there. And the first discussion happened between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. And according to Acharyas, this particular conversation which happened where Parikshit is only sitting and no other agenda in his life. Each one of us sitting behind the screens. We have many agendas right now going in the mind. Along with hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, you may be thinking, अरे प्रभु, अभी मेरे को ये प्लान बचा है, ये करना है, घर का ये चीज बच गई अभी, वो भी कंप्लीट करना है. So we make many other things also as priorities. But here Parikshit was not sitting like that. He's sitting as only soul and soul purpose to hear Bhagavatam. The king of entire world is showing from his own action what is important activity for one's life should be. And here Parikshit sitting there and eagerly waiting to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and no other agenda. And Sukadeva Goswami, as I mentioned earlier, he is also a person who has no other agenda. nor he was distracted by the sugar crystal, nor he was distracted by the girls who were bathing in the pond. He was only interested in relishing glories of Krishna and speaking to it, speaking about it to others who are eager, who are as much eager as he is. So when the speaker and the hearer, very important point, when the speaker and the hearer both are equally eager and keeping that as a priority, then that discussion is called as, that discussion is happening between Uttama. It's a Uttama discussion. It's a very topmost level of discussion. And we see another conversation which they speak there. Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit about how Narada has inspired Vyasadeva. This is the second conversation within a conversation. Okay. The second one. Narada speaking to Vyasadeva about, or Brahma speaking to Narada. These are all conversations about how creation took place, how Lord is maintaining, how Lord Vishnu expands himself into different forms. What is how the Kali Yuga could be benefited. Such discussions happened between Narada and Vyasa, and similarly Brahma and Narada. And those conversations, the both personalities, whether it is Narada or Brahma or Narada or Vyasa, they had their many other services as priorities. Vyasadeva, for example, he had to compile all the scriptures to benefit the whole world. And in that also, he heard Srimad Bhagavatam from Narada Muni, which inspired him to actually give Bhagavatam as it is. He had his own things. So similarly, Narada, Brahma had the own responsibility of entire creation, which he was thing of maintaining and thing. So they had a very important agendas, but however, that agenda is directly connected to Krishna. Is directly connected to Krishna. It is meant for the upliftment of the whole world. Because such devotees are in discussion, that discussion is called as Madhyama discussion. They are Madhyama Adhikari level pe. And don't consider them to Madhyama. Narada, Brahma, and even Vyasadeva, they all are Uttama Adhikaris. However, for the sake of society, they come to a position of Madhyama. Okay. And these are like Madhyama level discussions which happened. And we see another set of devotees who are discussing it is Naimisharanya sages. In the Naimisharanya, which is considered to the hub of the Earth planet, in that Naimisharanya, all sages were sitting and thinking about how to benefit Kali Yuga. So they all had meeting, just like we all are having. We all had meetings in this TOP temple. So there, Naimisharanya sages were sitting and they are having meeting. And the agenda is about how the Kali Yuga people could be benefited. So in the conclusion, they decided to have a fire sacrifice. They all arranged a big Havan Kunda and they all did Homa, mantras, tantras, all lot of various rituals they performed. And after the entire performance of the Yagna, what happened is all the sages' face became black. That is only result which came out of that Yagna. All sages' face became very blackish, with the suit which came out of the Yagna. And they think, array, we wanted to benefit others, but we ourselves have become completely washed away. So that time, in that assembly of sages, Suta Goswami comes. And then sages think, oh, no, this Yagna is not helping. Something else is required for the benefit of Kali Yuga. So that time when they approached Suta Goswami said, yes, I was in that discussion which happened between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. I would like to share that. And that is the only way, by sharing and hearing about the glories of Krishna and his devotees, we can be actually benefit the entire Kali Yuga people. This entire temple of Vedic planetarium or any ISKCON temple is founded not on a bricks and cement. It is founded on the principle of hearing and chanting the glories of Lord and his devotees. This is the main foundational principle. Srila Prabhupada therefore um, ensured that every temple there should be a morning program. It begins with expressing gratitude to Guru. Then there is chanting of the holy names. Together, devotees sit and chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds minimum. And then afterward, they come together and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the basic foundation. If this foundation is not there, the entire building collapses. Very important. We should take this foundational principle of spiritual life very seriously. Hearing and chanting, not compromise on that. So Sutta Goswami inspired all the Saunakadi rishis that now we will have the same discussion, and this will actually benefit us also, and it will benefit the entire world of Kali Yuga people. And that discussion happened between the Kanishta Adhikaris. So Sutta Goswami, even though very elevated, he had to explain in a way which can benefit the Saunakadi rishis. So in that discussion, there are many other Puranic discussions also happened. But especially we hear Bhagavatam we are taking, which is a cream. Bhagavatam is considered the cream of all such discussions which happened. And those cream discussions are kept in the Bhagavata, Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva, inspired by Narada's association, he took the Bhagavad Purana and he recompiled it. He recompiled and only kept those sections where the pure discussion on the pure bhakti principle, pure bhakti, Shuddha bhakti, have been kept in this particular Bhagavatam. Therefore, by the mercy of Vyasadeva, Sutta Goswami, Saunakadi Rishis, Narada, and by the mercy of Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami, we all have that same opportunity. Srila Prabhupada has given the same opportunity to be in such discussions. The discussion goes on, na? So what we are discussing here is also a part of the Bhagavatam. But here what we have as a sadhakas, we are practicing at our own level of commitment, our own level of faith, with all our difficulties and conditionings. Hare Krishna, please mute your mics.
इस अभ्यास के लिए हम लोग धीरे धीरे सर को आगे झुकाते हैं, संभव हो तो चेस्ट को टच कीजिए, फिर गर्दन को घुमाइए।
Hare Krishna. So I request, keep your mics muted so that we are not distracted. Already so many distractions are there around. So we should see that we don't further agitate or further get distracted. Hare Krishna. So we see in this particular Bhagavatam is a cream discussions which happened among the devotees about the Lord glories and pastimes. Okay, glorious activities and pastimes. So the first 3 verses are the prelude to Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we will be reciting. Now it's 7:40. We have till 8:30, so basically 50 minutes. We'll try to cover in brief the first 3 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So who will be reciting after me, repeating after me? Kamaraj Prabhu, you can choose.
Krishnamraju Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
You have to repeat after me, okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
These verses are very complicated, so you try to, and others can also repeat, but with their mics muted. Kamaraju, Krishnamraj Prabhu, you can keep it on, okay?
Nice.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Janmadi yasya yato anvayat itaratascha vignaswarat.
Janmadasya yatonmaya ditaratascha chaturveshya vignya.
Janmadi yasya yato anvayat itaratascha vignaswarat.
जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वया दितरश्चर्ते श्वाभिज्ञस्
Sadesu abhignaswarat
अभिज्ञस्वरा
tena brahma hridaya adi kavaye muyyanti yat suraya.
तेने ब्रह्म ह्यादया आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यच्छूरया
Tena brahma hridaya adi kavaye muyyanti yat suraya.
तेने ब्रह्म हृदया आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यच्छूरया
Tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha.
तेजो वारि मृदां यदा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा
Tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha.
तेजो वारि मृदां यदा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा
Dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi.
धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि
Dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi.
धाम्ना धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि
Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya janmadiyasya yatonvayati taratascha vignaswarat tena brahma hridayadi kavaye muyyanti yasuraya tejo vari mridam yatavanimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi. So here in this particular verse, which is recited, it gives the introductory verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this verse is called as a Sambandha. It establishes the Sambandha. Who is absolute truth? Satyam Param. Satyam Param, the absolute truth. Who is that Satyam Param? Satyam Param Dhimahi. Dhimahi matlab, just like in the Gayatri mantra, Hare Krishna. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
One call came. Yeah. So Satyam Param, there's a Gayatri, we meditate. So here the devotee is mentioning, Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning, he is meditating on the absolute truth. Satyam Param Dhimahi. So who will meditate on absolute truth? Only those people who are eager to attain the absolute truth. Everyone in this material world is seeking for some truth. They want to know the real facts. From the scientific world also, they are trying to find one formula which will explain everything. One formula which will explain everything. And one philosophy or one concept, one model which will explain everything else. So in this way, a lot of research is happening. But the real intelligent people will refer to those intelligent people who already researched about the absolute truth. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying, I meditate upon the absolute truth. So this verse number 1 speaks on the Sambandha, Jnana. So all of you know, any subject matter or any object has three things: Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana. This is called as Vastutraya. Any Vastu, to make that full understanding of that Vastu, you require three aspects. One is Sambandha, knowledge about that Vastu. What is that thing? That is the what. It's called question as what. And when knowledge is clear, then comes the second Abhideya, the process of attaining that Vastu or the Krishna. For example, you can take anything like cooking. Like cooking example, you see, what is the Sambandha of cooking? You should know what is cooking means what is rice, what is dal, what is sabji, and what are the masalas, and how which masala has to be used in which place. This knowing this knowledge is called as sambandha. And the second process is cooking, the activity of cooking. This is called as abhideya. Sambandha, abhideya. Abhideya matlab making that relationship. How to make the relationship? Process of making relationship. For example, cooking only you take. It basically means you are going in kitchen, you are keeping the kadai, and then you are actually started cooking. So that is called abhideya. And the third principle which comes in this vastutraya is prayojana, the ultimate perfection. What is that? Ultimate perfection means you cooked item and you wanted to feed, you wanted to eat along with your family members. That is ultimate purpose. Na? You want to nourish your body. You want to eat it and nourish your body. That is ultimate prayojana. So sambandha, abhideya, prayojana. Same way, Bhagavatam first 3 verses speak about the absolute truth. What is absolute truth is explained in the verse number 1. And how to attain the absolute truth, that is explained in the verse number 2. And what actually happens when you attain the absolute truth, that is explained in the verse number 3. So today we will be briefly discussing on all three things. The first verse, as I mentioned, it starts with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So in the beginning only is making very clear who is that person. Absolute truth is Vasudeva. Who is Vasudev? Son of Vasudeva. Son of Vasudeva, who took birth in the Karagar of Kamsa. And later on, Vasudeva, inspired by Krishna himself, he brought him across the Yamuna to Gokul. That Vasudeva Krishna has come, and then he became Vrindavan Krishna. That Vasudeva Krishna, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality whom I wanted to meditate upon. And what is this absolute truth is explained in this verse. So, so general understanding of the absolute truth is given in this. No? So intelligent people who are there, they want to know absolute truth. Therefore, this first verse explains about absolute truth. What it explains? Janmadiyasya yatonvayat itaratascha vignaswarat. So very interesting. There are many verse points are there which you can note down if you have any book with you or in your mobiles, wherever. Janmadiyasya. Janmadiyasya yato anvayat itaratascha dveshu. He says that this absolute truth is the cause of all causes. Janma. He is the cause of everyone. For example, each one of you have a gotra. All of you might be knowing your own individual gotra. If you go back like that, ultimately you come to the absolute Krishna only. So he is the ultimate cause of everything. For example, behind me one bird is making voice. Okay, that the ability of that voice, that sweet sound which the bird has, is happening because of Krishna only. The ultimate cause is Krishna. There is immediate cause and there is ultimate cause. Immediate cause is what we see. The immediate cause for you is your father, your parents, and for them their parents. But the ultimate cause, if you see, that it will point out to Krishna, from whom the other gotras have come. From Achyuta Gotra, every other Gotra has come. So if you don't know any Gotra, then you can take Achyuta Gotra. So that is the way it is explained here. So intelligent people want to know the cause of everything. Everyone is looking for the ultimate reason why we are here. The ultimate reason why this world is like this is who is that absolute truth? Krishna, Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So therefore, this particular verse gives a very important instruction to each one of us. that we should read Bhagavatam from first canto. Many places na they do Bhagavat Saptas, where in those Saptas they directly jump to Krishna's sweetness. They directly jump to the Krishna's Rasalila Adhyaya. And they start discussing about Krishna without knowing about Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary guy, and he has some sex desire and he wants to enjoy the company of some girls. Therefore, he's having the rasa dance. So this is a wrong understanding because people are not reading Bhagavatam from the first canto. First know the greatness of Krishna, then actually you can know the sweetness of Krishna. You can release the sweetness of Krishna. Without knowing the greatness of Krishna, directly jumping to the sweet pastimes of Krishna, people are bewildered. Very important. So, therefore, he says that second thing, Abhigna Swarat, Abhigna and Swarat. This absolute truth is a cause of everything. And after creating everything, it's not that he is not conscious. Abhigna means conscious. He's fully conscious of everything that is happening in this material world. What is happening with you? What is happening in your mind? What is happening with your family? What is happening in your city? What is happening in the state? What is happening in country? What is happening in the world? What is happening in the entire universe? All this information he has. He's very conscious. What is going to happen? What had happened earlier? So one person you can completely repose and feel secure is Krishna, Vasudeva, absolute truth. That absolute truth knows everything, is conscious, Abhigna, and is independent, Swarat. Nobody can control him. So this particular understanding is very crucial for us. Abhigna Swarat. So this absolute truth is cause of all causes. The second thing is conscious of everything. And because he's conscious, he knows everything. Nobody can come and control him. He's Swarat, is independent. Then he says, Tena Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Mugyanti Yat Suraya. He says, this absolute truth has given the absolute knowledge to whom? Brahma. Adi Kavi. Adi Kavi. Who is Adi Kavi? The first Adi Kavi here is Brahma. The four-headed Brahma who created his entire universe. That knowledge, how Brahma got it? Krishna, absolute truth, only gave in the heart of Brahma. Tena Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. This Brahma means Brahman knowledge. The absolute knowledge, Brahman knowledge is given to the Adi Kavi, that is Lord Brahma. Okay. Tena Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. In his heart he revealed it. For Krishna he can reveal in the heart. And that is the medium by which actually we can perceive Krishna. More you hear and chant in association of devotees, more lot of revelations happen in your heart. And that is the reciprocation of Krishna with each of us. So we should really appreciate, or we should express our gratitude to Krishna when such when such revelations happen in the heart about the absolute God. So then he says, Muyanti Yat Suryaha. This absolute truth activities are so bewildering that it bewilders the ordinary people. Not only ordinary people, it bewilders even the demigods. Muyanti Yat Suryaha. Surya matlab demigods. Even the demigods are bewildered by his activities. Tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo yatta trisargo mrishaha. Just like when you see Tejo vari. Teja matlab fire. Vari matlab water. Sometimes when there is a lot of fire, it looks like some water is there. It resembles some water is there within the fire. But actually it's not there. Just like on a hot sunny day, you are going on the highway and you see on the hot road, there is a water mirage, water appears. That is not there actually. So Krishna has another energy called is illusory energy, the material energy, Maya, which makes things, which make you think it is there. Maya means which is not. What you are seeing is actually not you. Like what you are seeing, your own face in the mirror, actually not you. You are a soul within this body. You're different from this. So such understanding, such illusory covering is happening in this material world because of Krishna's internal external energy, Maya. Tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrishaha. In the entire world, this is being bounded by this illusory energy of the absolute truth. So Krishna, as his way of protecting his devotees and treating the non-devotees. Each one of us deliberately came in this material world out of envy, and because of that envy, we are suffering in this material world. We are living in a it's not a false world, but this is not the place meant for us. This place is not meant for us. We think this is the enjoyment, but ultimately we realize this is not enjoyment. Maybe this particular job will give me enjoyment. This business will give me enjoyment. A relationship will give me enjoyment. Like that, we are traveling around and feeling dissatisfied. Why? This is the act of illusory energy of Krishna. So that is what is explaining here. Vinimaya go damna svena sada nirasta kuyakam satyam param dhimahi. And this absolute truth has not left us hopeless. He has created a world. Actually, the world actually exists eternally. That is Dhamna Svena. Dhamna is the spiritual world. In the spiritual world is absolute, and in that place there is no duality. That means there is no distress of this world. There is no duality of this world. It is free from all such illusory vibrations which are there in this material world. And to that world he has created. So the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam explains the absolute truth in a very profound way. There are three types of people who see absolute truth and the living entity. One is called as the Veda. Veda matlab differentiate. They differentiate absolute, God and Jiva separately. In simple terms, I have to say, there are Dvaitavadis. Dvaita matlab Dvaita, Dva matlab two. These people said there are two things. One is God and one is Jiva. Both are separate. This is one extreme. And another extreme is, they say God and living entity are same. What they are called as Mayavadis. This is another extreme. God and living entity are same. They combine them, make them as one. They are called as Mayavadis. But this Bhagavatam explains Vaishnava Siddhanta, saying that God and living entity are separate, my dear Prabhus. Krishna and the Jiva are separate. And they are same. This is called as Achintya Beda Abeda. They are simultaneously equal in terms of quality. Qualitatively, we all are like Krishna. We are eternal. We are full of knowledge and we have bliss. We don't die. As a Jiva, we don't die. We are always in the service. Our equality with Krishna in terms is of quality. But in quantity, we are different. Krishna, the God, is Abhigna. Is Abhigna, matlab he is fully conscious of everything. But we are not conscious of everything. We are not even conscious of our own body. After cancer comes in the body, after some years you realize there is a cancer. You're not conscious what is happening in your body also. You're not conscious what is happening in your family, how people are behaving with each other. You're not conscious. You may try your best, but you may not be conscious of everything. And we are not independent. Krishna is independent. Jiva is not independent. So in quantity wise, we are different. And Krishna is the source of all energies, material energy and spiritual energy. But we are marginal energy. We are, many times we come under the control of the external energy, Maya. Not many times, most of the time. Sometimes we want to come under the control of spiritual energy. When you come to holy places and associate with devotees or hear Srimad Bhagavatam like this, actually at that time you are in the control of Krishna's internal energy, spiritual energy, which is uplifting you. The moment you come out of this Zoom meeting and go and do your activities, or even though you may be in the Zoom and doing some other activity, then you are like marginal. You're in between. In between you are there. So it's very important to understand that that how Krishna given this or Sukadeva Goswami is speaking about this particular verse, giving the entire definition of absolute truth. And one of the acharyas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he has given a very intimate understanding of this particular verse. When anyone reads this verse and read the translation purport given by Prabhupada, which is more than 10 pages, you will see, Arey Prabhu, Bhagavatam is so philosophical. Itna to nahi pad paunga. No, it is very relishing. Therefore, I am we are having the discussion to make it more easy for you. So he says, this first understanding which I spoke till now, Vishwanath Chakravarti could say, this is like a lamp. It's like a lamp. You want to show light to the world. What you do, you light a lamp in the room. The room gets lit. But with the lamps, you cannot lit the entire world around. So this understanding which I spoke till now about absolute truth, this verse which is there, it is like telling who is God, is like showing a lamp in a room and lighting the room, or showing a lamp to light the whole world. It not be possible to understand fully. He gives another understanding, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says that is like sun. This understanding is like a sun. And this understanding will give the this explanation. Okay, the second explanation. The first explanation is like the lamp, and the second explanation is he gives is like a sun. Better understood. Again, we'll read the verse. Okay, all of you point to your particular verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadi yasya yatonvayat itarat chadvesha vignaswarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye muyyante yat suraya tejo varimridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mresha dvamna svena sada nirastakuyakam satyam param dhimahi. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my obeisances to that personality, Vasudeva, the son of Vasudeva. What happened? Janmadi yasya yatonvayad itaras chadveshwara. He has taken birth in some other place. What is that place? That place is Madhura. Some other place. In that place, in the jail of Kamsa, bounded. His parents were bounded by the Kamsa. He said, Janmadi yasya yato anvayad itaras chadvesha vignaswarat. Even though he has taken birth in that bounded place, this particular Krishna cannot be bounded by anyone. He is Swarat. And he is conscious of everything what is happening around. As soon as he took birth, he instructed Vasudeva, take me out. And Vasudeva told him, Krishna, how can I take you out? You are bounded. He said, no, you just take me and go, everything will be, everything, all your shackles will be removed. Abhignaha, nobody can control the Lord. Swarat is conscious of everything. And he says, oh Vasudeva, oh Devaki, you are the same Prishni. And I have come in your, I have come as your child 3 times. This is the 3rd time I am coming to you as a child. He's conscious of everything. And he tells Devaki, you don't worry about the death. It all happened by a sweet will. So when Krishna comes in your life, you will not be fearful. Because most of the time we are fearful because we don't know what is happening. And we don't know what will happen. And we are till now not able to figure out why that happened with me. So when Krishna comes in picture, we become free from these anxieties. So that is what is explained. Janmadi yasya yatonvad itara sadagneswara. Then he says, what he did? He was taken to some another place, Gokul Vrindavan. And what happened in Gokul? Tena Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muyyanti Yat Suraya. There, when Krishna was eating along with his sakas in the forest, and Brahma was confused. Brahma was confused. Muyyanti Yat Suraya. He was bewildered seeing Krishna taking the juta from the mouth of his friend and eating it own. And not only Brahma, other Surya, Indra got bewildered. And because of he started pouring the heavy rainfall in the Vrindavan. Such pastimes happened in that particular place. Tena Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muyyanti Yat Suraya. They were quietly bewildered. Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatrat Sargo Mrishaha. He says Krishna has performed so many pastimes which are free from the dualities of this world. And many times he was, the forest fire came. In the forest fire, when Krishna saw it and all the Gopas were completely confused, he told them to close eyes. They immediately closed their eyes. They immediately closed with full faith in Krishna. They were not bewildered. These pastimes, it appears in the spiritual world, everything is very ecstatic. It's not static, it's very ecstatic. It's very ecstatic and dynamic. And how much faith you have in Krishna, that much you can digest the thing there. So such way the pastimes happened there. And in that Damna Swena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam. And Lord, the absolute truth, Krishna, the son of as a son of Vasudev, he has come to Gokul and he became the son of Yashoda. And in that place, he never left it. Damna Swena Sada Nirasta Kuvakam. That Krishna never left Vrindavan. He remained there eternally. And he is inspiring each one of us to come there. So this is understanding given of the first verse. So now we will go to the second verse. So Kamaraj Prabhu, you can take your flight, no problem. You can leave the meeting. So we'll read the next verse. Somebody will, Krishna Raju Prabhu, okay?
Just 1 second, Prabhu. There is a net issue. I'm trying to reopen it.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Not yet, Prabhu. It is something. Page is giving error.
Okay, then somewhere I'll recite some. Anyone else? Let us give some other one chance. Somebody would like to recite? This verse is a little easy than the first verse. Anyone? Hare Krishna. Rajiv Prabhu, you can only recite. If Krishna Raj Prabhu is not ready. Haribol? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, please respond fast because it's very. I'm not able to see anything in this mobile. I'm seeing my own face. So please respond.
Yes, Prabhu.
Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam.
Dharma projitita kaitavotra paramo nirmastaranam satam.
Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam.
Dharma projito kaitavotra paramo nirmastaranam satam.
Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayonmulanam.
वेद्यं वास्तवम् अस्त्रवस्तु सीवदां तपोत्रयोन्मूलनम्
Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon
वेद्यं वास्तवम् अस्त्रवस्तु सीवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्
Srimad Bhagavate Mahamune Krite Kim Va Parairishvara.
श्रीमद्भागवते महामुने कृते किं वा परैरीश्वर
Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Va Parairishvara.
श्रीमद् महामुने कृते किं वा परैरीश्वर
Sadhyo Hridaya Avrudyate Kritibi Susrushubhi Takshanat.
सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते त्र कृत्तिभिः शुश्रूषिष तत्क्षणात्
Sadhyo Hridaya Avrudyate Atra Kritibi Susrushubhi Takshanat.
सद्यो हृदि अवरुध्यते त्र कृत्तिभिः शुश्रूषिष तत्क्षणात्
Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon moolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamani Krite Kim Va Parerishvara Tadyo Hridaya Vridhyate Atra Kritibi Shushubhi Takshanat. So this second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prologue, it explains the Abhideya, the process of attaining the absolute truth. What it says in the translation? Completely rejecting all other religious activities which are materially motivated. Dharma projita kaitavatro paramo nirmatsaranam satam. This Bhagavat Puran profound the highest truth. What is the Abhideya? Reading Bhagavatam. That is what he is simply telling in this verse. Dharma projita kaitavatro paramo nirmatsaranam satam. See, this material world, each one of us, the basic foundational principle on which we are living in this material world is envy. The basic foundational principle of devotional service is hearing and chanting. But the basic foundational principle in this material world to live, what people are doing is envy. They're envious of Krishna. Each one of us, to core of our heart, if you examine, we have that envy for Krishna. And that envy gets reflected in anyone who becomes famous. So, in the material world, we are based on envy. Therefore, it said that in this verse, Nirmatsaranam Satam. You need to, Abhideya process, what is the process? Rejecting all other dharmas. Matlab, you don't have to do so many religious activities in life. Dharma projita kaitavo. Kaitava matlab give it up. It's a false. It is based on a very wrong, cheating principle. Many religions, many ritualistic activities we do, where we are in the business of being cheated, or we are cheating others. Either we are cheating others or we are getting cheated by others. So therefore here he says, Sukadeva Goswami, give up all those things. You want to attain perfection, then what you do? Nirmatsaranam satam. You associate with those who are nirmatsara, free from envy. So there are three types of non-envious people. Three levels of non-envious people. Okay, three levels. The first level is you are free from material envy. One thing is a devotee. Sometimes devotees are free from material envy. Okay, but remember, they don't have envy for others. If they see somebody becoming successful, they don't become unhappy with them. अरे become successful. मेरे साथ क्यों नहीं हो रहा वैसा? उनका से इतना क्यों हुआ है? उनको नीचे होना चाहिए. This is called envy. He is free from that envy. Second level is highest, little higher is being a well-wisher of others. If you are well-wisher, not only you are non-envious, you are well-wishing to others. You are thinking benefit about others, how to help them. And the third level of being non-envious is creating an envious society or a community. You create a community where people are dealing with each other without envy, keeping Krishna in the center. So, Srimad Bhagavatam reading will give this benefit. If you regularly come, even though you may be envious in the heart to some or other extent, you come in the association of the devotees. In the association of devotees, when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, you become free from envy. And moment you are free from envy, you become eligible to go back to Godhead. You understanding? You'll go back to spiritual world. Dhamna Svena. You'll go back to that Dham again. Therefore, being free from envy, nirmasara, is very important. And then he says, Tapatrayon Mulanam. The verse goes like this, now. Where it comes, Tapatrayon Mulanam. Vedam Vedyam Vastav Matra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Mulanam. This reading of Srimad Bhagavatam will give first benefit is you become free from envy. And the second thing what we say, Tapatrayon Mulanam, Tapatraya. This material world and everyone is hungry of many desires, material desires. You get free from that one. You get uprooted from that. So that means what? There are many tapa which is there. There is Adhyatmik Klesha, Adi Bhautik Klesha, Adi Devik Klesha. You get free from. What is being free from these miseries? It means the devotee perceives all the tribulations of the material world in a different way. That's how he elevates. Just like when you take a flight, you take off. When you take off from the flight, you go up, you see all buildings, very, very small. Same way, devotees, when they read Bhagavatam regularly and take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, they become free from envy. And all the troubles, tribulations which are happening in this material world, they go a little above it. They fly above. And they are flying, that time they see these problems as very small things. So devotees, it's not their problems don't affect their physical body and physical life. But the devotees are free from such suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So the misery, devotee sees as mercy. Misery they see as a mercy. Because of attitude of gratitude, this is possible. You start expressing your gratitude to Krishna and the material world around for giving an opportunity for you to get purified through the miseries around. Therefore, this attitude of gratitude is a best tool for overcoming any types of miseries. And that gratitude develops when we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, which in the association of the Nirmasara Satam, in the association of the non-envious people. You should not hear Srimad Bhagavatam from those people who are materialistic minded. Because when you hear that, they give their own understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like they speak about rasa dance and they promote sex, free mixing among people. Such Bhagavatam should not be heard. Where their more interest is in about Gana Bhajana than hearing Bhagavatam. So such Bhagavatams will not uplift anyone of our consciousness. So devotees, they keep Krishna in the center and then they do kirtan and dance. That is nice. So Vrajavasis maintained a very cool attitude. They were going through many tribulations in Vrindavan. You see, the day Krishna appeared, from that day only there were tribulations in Vrindavan. Putana came, Vatsasura came, Shakatasura came, Trinavrata came. Every now and then, some demon is coming and attacking Vrindavan. They were going through tribulations, but they never were disturbed. They maintained their cool head because of their love for Krishna. So, we should sincerely hear the Nirmasara Satam. We should hear from the non-envious people regularly. When you sincerely hear, now what happens is, your consciousness is raised. So that hearing should be in a request mood, not in a conquest mood. In a humble mood, when you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, that much hunger is expressed. You can digest the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, you are hungry, you want to eat food. When you eat food, then you can digest it. When you are not hungry, you start eating, now you will not digest it. So the hunger for Srimad Bhagavatam should be what? We should be sincere in hearing from the non-envious people. More you are eager to hear, more hungry you are. And more you can digest the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, while progressing in this material world, our body will not stop. it will accelerate. It will go on like that. With that time, the body changes. So your mind also should go ahead. You should go above. Mind should not make a break. You should go ahead and try to assimilate the understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam more in your life. And then what happens? It becomes easy for you at the time of the death when you're leaving this body, because your consciousness is uplifted. The moment your consciousness is uplifted, you go back. So this is what verse 2 speaks. Mahamuni, it says, Tapatrayon Mulanam, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parer Ishvaraha. Sadyo Avridyatra Kritibe Shushrabe Takshanan. Hearing it, just by hearing from the immediately, that will inspire the great devotion in the heart of a person. We'll read the translation as it is. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated. A lot of motivations around. This Bhagavad Puran profound the highest truth. It gives only the pure thing, the absolute truth, which is understandable by those who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth, reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth approves the threefold miseries. Tapat Trayon Mulanam. All the threefold miseries. Adhyatmik Klesh, Adirvadu Klesh, everything is more. This beautiful Bhagavatam was compiled by great sage Vyasadeva. In his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. Ye akela kafi hai. What is the need of any other scripture? So don't get confused. Now, Bhagavad Gita gives the basic spiritual knowledge, and Bhagavatam will give the rasa, the mellows of the love of God, the mellows of loving God. All these are given in Bhagavatam. There is no other scripture required apart from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within the heart. Lord not only reveals, he personally gets established himself in the Sham Sundar form in the heart. So Abhideya process is being explained in the verse number 2. The first verse explains Sambandha of absolute truth, and second verse explains the absolute truth, the way of attaining absolute truth, that is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And now the third verse speaks Prayojana. What is the result? You hear regularly Bhagavatam, what happens to you is explained in the third verse. So we'll go to the third verse. Krishna Rajpu, you're ready? Hare Krishna. Or Rajiv Prabhu, you only can. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna Rajpu, fine. Third verse, okay. Nigama kalpataror galita phalam sukha mukadamrita dravya samyutam. Okay. Nigama kalpataror galita phalam.
Nigama kalpataror ghalam phalam.
Nigama kalpataror galita phalam.
Nigama kalpataror ghalitam balam.
Sukha mukhad amrita dravya samyutam.
Sukha mukhad amrita drava samyutam.
Sukha mukhad amrita dravya samyutam.
Sukha mukhad amrita drava samyutam.
Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam.
Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam.
Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam.
Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam.
Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha.
Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha.
Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha.
Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha.
Nigama kalpataror galita phalam sukha mukadamrita davya samyutam. Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. He says, very interesting. This verse is very, very sweet. You all can recite regularly and remember these first three verses. This is a very best way to be immediately free from anxieties. When you go through some anxieties, immediately take Varsa Bhagavatam and recite them. You'll free, happy. Who expert and thoughtful men release Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of desire tree of Vedic literature. It emanated from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although its nectarian juice was already relatable for all, including liberated souls. Nigama kalpa taror galita phalam. So it's called a galita phala. Galita matlab what? Ripened fruit. The essence of a tree is the fruit. Is it not? The essence of a tree is the fruit. And when that fruit becomes ripened, it's very, very tasty. So the Vedas are compared to like a tree. In this Bhagavatam, the Vedas are compared like a tree. And this fruit, the essence of the tree is the fruit. This is a mango tree. And this mango, when it is raw mango, it's okay. It tastes like, somebody likes, somebody don't like it. But it becomes ripened mango with full of juice. Now summer will come, you'll relish it. So ripened mango, alfazza mango, okay. It is like that. Srimad Bhagavatam is like that. What is the prayojana? What happens when you regularly hear and read Srimad Bhagavatam? The result is you start relishing Bhagavatam like a mango. And what he says? Falita gala mukha mukha dravya. It's called a dravya. It's like a liquid juice. That mango doesn't have any skin. Nor that mango has any seed. It is full of flesh. It's only pulp, sweet. You take that mango and eat it. How you feel? Similarly, we should relish. We have to drink Bhagavatam, the juice of Bhagavatam, the mango juice of Bhagavatam. We drink through our ears, not through our mouth. And this is even more tasteful because this mango, this fruit is bitten by the Sukadeva Goswami, who is a parrot. Sukha means parrot. Sukadeva Goswami heard from his father Vyasadeva, and he relished it very much, and he is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. And in that discussion which happened between Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, even Narada and Vyasadeva were sitting there. Narada is the grand spiritual master of Sukadeva Goswami. Or you can say grand spiritual master. And Vyasadeva is father and also the spiritual master of Sukadeva Goswami. Can you imagine when you are giving class and your own guru is sitting there? And Srila Prabhupada personally sitting there and hearing your class because they want to hear Bhagavatam. So see the nature here. Narada and Vyasadeva were hearing Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, who actually heard from Vyasadeva only. And Vyasadeva heard it from Narada only. So they are again hearing that as if they are hearing for the first time. That means they are relishing it. For example, you are given a sugarcane juice to drink. Okay. And you are told, Prabhu, I will give you every day. नहीं प्रभु, हर दिन क्यों प्रभु जी? हफ्ते में एक दिन काफी है. हफ्ते सैटरडे को मॉर्निंग में काफी है. बोलेंगे क्या आप? आपको हर दिन लेने का अपॉर्चुनिटी है, मौका है, तो हर दिन लेंगे ना. So something very sweet and nectarian, you want to take it every day. That is the prayojana. So Krishna reciprocates with this particular relishment which a devotee feels. In the Vrindavan, Yashoda used to every day hear the complaints about Krishna stealing the butter pots. So the gopis used to come and they used to speak it. While speaking the complaints, actually Yashoda is very happy because she is hearing various activities of Krishna. And not only Yashoda is happy, more happy is the gopis who are complaining. In the name of complaining, actually they are speaking the glories of Krishna. And they are telling to whom? Yashoda. And they feel so happy. They start appreciating Yashoda. You are so within the hearts. Externally they are complaining, but in the heart they are very much appreciating Yashoda. for her position as mother of Krishna. You are so nice. We are having little association of Krishna in the stealing pastimes, and we're feeling so much joy. You are having constant association of Krishna. आप उनको सुलाते हैं, उठाते हैं, खिलाते हैं, डांटते हैं, नहलाते हैं, इतना चीज उनको करते हैं आप, कितना भाग्यवान है. They started appreciating within their hearts, Yashoda. Therefore, pure devotees, they are not envious of others. The day when you are not envious of others' advancement, spiritual advancement, that day you become qualified to spiritually release Srimad Bhagavatam. Because in Bhagavatam speaks about the glories of Lord and his pure devotees. If you are envious of others' advancement spiritually, you are not qualified. Therefore, we should strive to be free from envy. And the best way to counteract envy is appreciation. You appreciate the devotees for their wonderful services they are doing, wonderful sadhana they are doing. You start appreciating devotees. So especially devotees when you are hearing, any you get opportunity, you should not appreciate in heart, appreciate outside. You speak it out. In this ILS services, our Somnath Prabhu also there. He came here. He was so happy getting opportunity to serve many Prabhupada disciples, got to hear them and hear. So such opportunities when you get, you should release the association of devotees. It's very important. So he says this Bhagavatam should be not eaten. It should be drink. You should drink through the ears. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam belongs to Krishna and Krishna belongs to his devotees. And then he says another important one. He said, Rasam Alayam. Rasam, as I mentioned, is a liquid. It's a liquid which is being released. Alaya matlab free from liberation. The taste of this Bhagavatam is so nice that devotees don't even desire mukti. There are siddhi kamis, there are mukti kamis, and there are mukti kamis. And devotee doesn't like any of this. There are ordinary people who are looking for mukti, enjoyment. Devotees are not looking for material enjoyment. And there are some jnanis who are looking for some knowledge, understand, some perfection in the knowledge. And yogis, they are looking for siddhi, perfections, lot of magical powers. Devotees are not eager for those things. They don't want to show magics. They want to release Bhagavatam and share with others. Siddhi kami, bhukti kami, and mukti kami are jnanis. Those are jnanis. They want to be free from all anxieties. Devotees don't even desire that. And what they desire? Only Krishna. They desire bhakti. They want service year after year, life after life. They want only service to Krishna. They don't want to go to Vaikuntha also. They want to remain wherever in the position, and they get opportunity to hear and chant about the Lord and serve the Lord. This is very important. Aspiring only seva. They are not aspiring for 5 types of mukti which are explained in the Bhagavatam. Sarupya mukti, Sayujya mukti, Sanidya mukti, Sarupya mukti. So there are 5 types of muktis. They are not looking for any of them. They are looking only for seva, opportunity for service. That is what called as Rasam Alayam. They are relishing so much, they don't want liberation. They are going beyond liberation to a spiritual world where they get opportunity to serve Krishna, hear about him. Muhuraho, they want to drink it again and again and again. तो जी एक बार पढ़ लिया, कितना पढ़ाएंगे आप और छोड़ दीजिए ना. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. They want to hear again and again. So, and then it says Galita Phalam. This phala, fruit, you see, when the fruit is on top of a tree, what happens? It gets from top of a branch, it comes to the down, to the down ground. And this is called a disciplic succession. You know, Krishna spoke in the heart of Brahma, and Brahma spoke it to Narada, and Narada spoke to Vyasa, and Vyasa spoke to Sukadev Goswami, and Sukadev Goswami is taken to Parikshit Maharaj. In that assembly, Suta Goswami is sitting, and Suta Goswami is speaking to Saunakadi Rishis. And this discussion, Prabhupada is given to all of us in the form of Bhagavatam. Like that, this ripened fruit is coming from top of a tree to the down. So this is called as parampara. It is not ascending process. It's a descending process. We hear from above, relish it, and we share with the down people. So this opportunity we should never miss. And I would like to conclude with the last point from this particular verse. This is Prayojana verse. Prayojanam is what? This Bhagavatam is relished again and again. After you read Bhagavatam, you want to read it again and again. And in reading again and again, you relish it. And not only relish it, you want to give this phala to others also. Another important point is Sukha Mukhad Amrita Dravya. It said that Sukha Mukhad, it has come from the mouth of Sukadev Goswami. Sukadev Goswami is compared to like a parrot. What is parrot known for? Repeating. But here Sukadev Goswami is not known for repeating. It's a wrong understanding. Sukadev Goswami is not known as Sukha because of his repeating ability, but because of his ability to give the knowledge, give the Srimad Bhagavatam in such a way that it is very appealing to everyone. He tasted the fruit and is giving that fruit in a way which can relish by everyone. That is the greatest ability of Sukadev Goswami here. It's not that he heard from his father, he's just repeating it. He's repeating in such a way that people can understand it and they also take it. So same way, it's important that all of us first relish Bhagavatam. Try to understand Bhagavatam as per the Acharyas. Nirmassara Satam, those who are free from envy. Not your way. Prabhu, Bhagavatam पढ़ने से क्या फायदा है? मेरे को कुछ practical कुछ समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ. ये practical समझने के लिए भागवतम नहीं है हमारा. ये भागवतम में आस्वादन करने के लिए, आस्वादना, relish. You are happy to hear and you want to, you're so happy you want to share. Just like now any new movie comes, so many reviews come out, is it not? This person talks, that person talks, this person talks. So many people talk and you also talk about it if you see a movie. And you want to talk to many people. For example, a child is there in home. Child does some very wonderful things. He becomes successful in the school. He gets a good rank in the school. You want to talk to it about to others. Even though others are not interested, you want to speak about it. Is it not? So Bhagavatam should be relished like that. More than that. More you relish, more you can share it. So I would like to conclude. Just to recapitulate, we discussed the three aspects of absolute truth. The Sambandha, the first number 1 speaks about absolute truth, that is Vasudeva, who is the cause of all causes, Sarva Karana Karana, and is the Abhigna and Swarat, and his external energy bewilders the ordinary people, and his Leela is so attractive that it even bewilders the demigods. And then we came to the second verse, which speaks about the process of attaining Vasudeva. That is reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And the conclusion on the what is the result what you get by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, you attain so much taste in reading Bhagavatam that you want to associate with those devotees and discuss with them Srimad Bhagavatam and serve Krishna in that way. You are not looking for any other type of perfection in life, nor you're looking for liberation. You are only looking for opportunity. If I get, Prahlad Maharaj says this, let me get an opportunity to be associated with your devotees, where I get an opportunity to hear and chant your glories, Krishna. Like that he mentions. So with this desire, let us pray to each other and pray to Krishna, pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Just like Mahaprabhu released Srimad Bhagavatam again and again, he used to hear the Dhruva Charitra, Prahlad Charitra. Like that, we also attain that same type of intensity in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So
Hare Krishna.
we'll conclude here. Any questions devotees have?